You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV Suits After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV Suits After Show.
I just love this song so much. Just get the shoulders going a little bit. Hey everyone, Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another AFTERBUZZ TV after show for Suits. I don't even know what season it is anymore. Season 3, and this title is Unfinished Business. I'm Tiona Hobson, and I'm trying something new tonight, guys, so bear with me. I have the chat roll going and my notes on the computer, so bear with us. And I'll let my lovely co-hosts introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Ashida Onrae, and I'm glad to be back. I'm so excited.
Hi guys, my name is Emma Kay.
And just a side note for everyone, today is Ashida's birthday. So happy birthday, Ashida.
Thank you.
I was hoping my birthday wish for her was that she got some birthday sex via
Birthday
Suits.
sex.
Via Suits.
Via
in the
Suits.
episode.
Yeah, make sure you say that.
Let me clarify. I wanted her to see some action happen on Suits because we know that's her favorite stuff.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
All we got were some legs.
Yeah, we got some legs.
No sex. I'm bummed.
Legs for days, though. Legs for days. Well, happy
Right.
birthday.
Thank you.
I hope
thank
you enjoyed
thank you.
tonight's episode.
I did.
Okay.
I did. It was good.
It was.
It was intense.
It was.
Kind of like good sex.
Sex? Yes, please.
No, you're not. You're not done. But let's dive in. Let's talk about this Ava Hessington case because it's like the case that won't go away. It has been since the season premiere. It just keeps coming up. So now we have, we think that we got away with everything last week because she signs the deal and Harvey doesn't want to. Jessica kind of forces him to in so many words. And then Harvey and Ava are at lunch enjoying some time. I think Ava was trying to steal Harvey away
Yes.
in this conversation. Bribe him. Like, oh, you're a man who likes a knife fight. Why don't you oil business? It's all about the knife fight and the thrill of it all. And then, their conversation gets cut a little short because here comes our favorite person, Cameron, and he arrests Ava for, what was it for?
Murder.
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Oh, was it conspiracy or just murder?
I think it was
I think
conspiracy
it's
because she
She didn't do it.
Yeah, she didn't do it. So it was that she paid off this general, the guy who she confessed to bribing, then turned around and killed 6 people who were against Ava's company being there. And it was at a rally that was on her property, and all the signs are just stacked up against
Wow.
her right now.
That's
So-
a woman that has a lot of balls. I'm just the
Well,
whole sex
it's
thing.
also, I think, because it's two different countries, so
Yeah.
the rules are played completely different there, and
Right.
how things get done. So now it's being tried here, which is completely different.
Yeah.
But normally it's always the men that do stuff like that you see
What
in
is that
television.
supposed to
no,
mean?
I'm like
the men are the ruthless
the
ones.
men are
but-
the ruthless ones, and
But that's something that Ava has touched on too throughout the season
Right.
is that, to be a woman in this industry like she is and to be
Right.
a top contender, she has to be just as ruthless as the men, and that every single person who's her competitor has done the same things that she has done, but she's getting more flack about it because she's a woman.
right, because women have more of a sensitivity to them as far as men. They just control their emotions. They don't cry. They don't shed a tear. They don't feel anything. So it's just, I like it that there's a shift. But normally, in movies, you see the men mostly
But
play
I
a
think
ruthless role.
we see that a lot in the women and how they're depicted in this in Suits. You have Donna, who, even though she's the second second in command after Harvey, but she's still a strong personality. You have, you know, even Katrina standing up for herself, and Rachel, and all the women. Jessica.
Yeah.
Not Darby, I'm sorry. The first guy.
Hartman.
Out, you know, that was a strong move for a woman too.
Yes.
Yeah, Jessica in itself is a strong woman, strong character who basically leads the whole company.
Which is funny for a show called Suits, which you'd think is about, you know, just mostly a male-oriented show. It does show a lot of very strong female characters in positions of power,
Yes, absolutely.
and that's refreshing to see on TV.
I think so too.
It gives it a different diversity, a diverse effect.
I love how they dress them up in this feminine character, and when you see it, it's kind of like looking at something that's beautiful, and then you don't really know what's, you know, you just see the cover of the book, but you don't really know what's inside, and they prove you wrong every single time.
Every single time.
Like how, you know, the British Harvey approached Donna from behind, you know, thinking that she's some secretary just, you know, sitting there. And Harvey's like, she's listening to everything.
Listen to everything. She's already 5 steps ahead of everyone.
And
right
how
now.
she saw him, because he didn't think that, because her back was turned, and he was getting ready to walk into the office, and she's like, yeah, like you don't see me. You know,
Yeah.
so I like that she has eyes behind her head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she sees everything.
She sees it all.
Yeah.
And so then back to the
Eyes in the
case.
back of her head, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Back to the case. So Mike questions Ava while she's in lockup, I guess. That's what it's called. I don't know. I don't have any experience there. But, you know, Ava basically says that all the deaths in this country have been reported as a combat incident, and that's all it is. That's all it is. And so they try to use that in court, and this is where our sound was kind of bad, and I couldn't really hear everything that happened to lead to this point. But a judge sets bail for $1.
I love that.
I love that too.
Right.
And that shows that Harvey and Mike being back together and working together again. It was really nice to see them kind of bounce right into how things used to be and not really take that break of like awkwardness. You know, they're right back to working together and doing a great job because they have, you know, this whole idea and this whole argument and case to build upon how Cameron has let all these other people go with bail, but he's not letting Ava go with bail because it's a personal.
Right.
Which I love the judge too. How she
Yes.
called them into her quarters and was like, hey.
I didn't like her hair though.
I mean, yeah, hair could have been a little better. She wasn't working with much, I guess you could say.
Why don't that
But I think Ava is gonna crack later on, just dealing with this whole situation, because having Mike question her was already intense for her, and she asked him to step out of the room so she could talk to Harvey, and it's like, well, that's the whole point of having an attorney. They need to know every single detail.
Yeah.
And she was more concerned whether Harvey thought she was guilty or not guilty versus here's what the story or the evidence is. Now find a way to protect me.
Exactly. And someone who, the whole time when she kept asking everyone, like, well, what do you think? What do you think? And harping on that, someone who's innocent doesn't really care what you think. Someone who's maybe guilty is like, well, you know, do you believe that I could do something like this? You know, it's almost like a, not pleasurable, but, you know, kind of like, do you think I could get away with this?
I thought it was more of a guilty conscience playing, where she knows she's guilty, but she wants to know who else thinks she's guilty.
Oh, okay.
That's a good way to look at
Yeah,
it.
that's a good way to look at it,
Because
too.
she needs to know if less people think that she's guilty, then in her mind, she has a better chance at winning the case, which is all she's concerned about. Versus if more people thought that she was guilty, especially, you know, her attorney, then I think she's going to go around him and make some sort of a deal with the witnesses.
Yeah.
So I think she wants to know where he stands to know what she's going to do with the case herself.
Yeah. But I mean, she's always about this whole bribery thing, because even after, you know, they get the bail set and they're trying to figure out a way to, you know, win the case, they're like, hey, the judge told Cameron, come back when you have evidence. Cameron goes and finds 5 witnesses who can place her there, confess that, she knew what she was paying the money for. And then her initial reaction is, well, I need to bribe them. And last week's episode, when her number 2 was flipping on her initial reaction is, let's just pay him off.
Right.
It's like, lady,
she's not getting
figure it out. One of these days, money can't solve all your problems.
Right.
It can solve a lot of them. It can solve some things, but it's not going to solve every problem that you have. And she needs to stop trying to throw the money out there because...
And I think she throws money because she has a hard time hearing no. Everything has to go her way or no way. So it's like, you know what, fine, we can't fix it this way, then let's... Because money solves all problems. Money talks.
Yeah.
So for her, I get what I want, I pay you so I can get what I want. So I think that she had a hard time. That's why she fired them, fired Harvey. Because it was like, no, we're not doing it.
Because even earlier in the episode, she told Harvey when she was trying to get him to come over to her team, she's like, if I want something, I always get it, and I'm not afraid to pay for it.
And she threw in I'm a woman. She threw in that too.
So
I'm a woman and I always get what I want.
So maybe one day, I mean, I love the, woman power, but maybe let's try and do some things legal. Maybe we could stay out of legal troubles long enough.
The UK has no rules.
Yeah, apparently. Which, okay, have they explained this, and maybe I just missed it because I'm not a lawyer, why something with a UK-based company doing stuff in another country is being tried in the United States? Because of her bribery charges, if she bribes someone in another country, why is it...
Unless her business is located in the
here.
U.S.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah. If they're located out of the U.S., then I'm guessing some sort of international law has to take place where they have to be tried here because they're breaking the law here as well.
Okay. I'll give you that. So basically, after they get fired, Mike then has a genius idea to use the witnesses against Cameron, have them file a lawsuit against Ava so that they can't be used as witnesses in the current case. So then Cameron's back to square zero. So victory for Harvey, which, I mean, and then Ava has that whole conversation with Mike again where, she's harassing him like, hey, what do you think Harvey thinks that I did it? Did I not do it?
And I'm so proud of him.
I was proud of him too.
Proud
he had a lot of redeeming to do from last season.
Yes, he did. And he said it with such conviction.
Yes.
I was like, yes, because she was testing him to see if she can break him.
Well, my early prediction is going to be she's going to try to recruit him now because she needs a second,
she did
her
say,
right hand.
Yeah, she did say,
Good choice.
Harvey made a good choice with his number 2. But she doesn't know how betrayed Harvey felt as early as last week.
There's always an end game, right?
Yeah. All these people.
I know.
And British Harvey coming into town. What's his end game with Donna?
Right.
I want to know what's up with him and Donna.
I still don't trust him.
I don't think he's interested in Donna. I think he knows that she knows a lot. She basically controls Harvey's whole calendar. She knows everything. She's the office wife. So what better way to get to Harvey or get into his head in details than through Donna? Because Harvey's not going to let his guard down.
Do we trust him?
No.
No?
No,
No
never.
way.
I don't trust, because I don't trust Darby, so I don't trust him.
Trust Darby either.
Because Harvey and Darby, that kind of rhymes. Harvey and Darby, they made that deal about, taking over Jessica, but I don't trust that Darby's going to actually follow through with that. So him sending someone else in makes me really not trust him.
But why did he send someone else in?
To help
with the case.
take over Jessica.
So he feels that Harvey can't do it on his own?
I think that because their deal was that Darby would support him in taking over Jessica, that he's going to need some help, some backup to do it. And who's better to back up Harvey Specter than another Harvey Specter?
An ugly version of Harvey Specter.
You didn't think he was
Sorry,
cute?
hell no.
I don't know. By the
Do a
end,
better job than that.
that British accent had me swooning by the end of it.
He looks short.
Yes.
He was shorter than Donna in her heels.
Yeah, right.
When they were standing at her desk, you could definitely see the that she was a little bit that over the
I
shoulder
didn't
shot.
like the. Did you see the brown shoes? Really? That's not even from the UK. That's like Texas. Come on.
UK via Texas. That's where he's from. I liked when he walked in with Harvey's confidence. Just walking down the hallway, he gives nuts to some guy who's like, "Who are you?" Lewis sees him when he's walking down the hall and is like drooling over him. Like the whole office is just like
Yeah, I didn't find him
fixated on
attractive
him.
at all. I agree
But-
with you on that.
Yeah.
he's got Harvey's swag, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, but you got to be handsome
Not
too.
really. I don't think he does.
You don't think he does?
No,
I think the way
he's like a couple of notches down from Harvey.
Almost like obnoxious, like, or over the top, or
No, just less. I think he doesn't have the self-confidence that Harvey does.
I read it as that he did have it because he was helping Harvey and Harvey didn't even realize it. It's just like everything he did is everything that Harvey does to other people and what makes people frustrated and mad with Harvey. And then Harvey has someone doing it back to him now. And so he kind of realizes the frustrations, but I don't know. I think they're kind of on equal playing fields. He might do things a little differently.
he's
Not
a little
sure.
more flashy though.
He's definitely more flashy.
Yeah, than Harvey's more smooth. He's more over the top.
Yeah. Harvey's like a classic. You know,
Yes.
he's like a 20s movie.
Yes.
You know, he's going to come with the class and like
Yes.
subtleties of like, this
Not
is
the
who
fast
I am.
And
car,
this one is
speeding
mismatched
off.
shoes with.
Right, and speeding off in the car and all that. But Donna, but not, is it not Donna?
It was
Donna.
Donna.
Yeah.
She said she's in trouble.
Oh, that
So
girl is in trouble.
Something must have happened where she became a little bit attracted to him.
I think
Well,
that
she was
found someone
searching
who's-
that he had a suite.
Yeah. She took it
Yeah,
upon
but I just
herself
didn't
to.
think that she would fall that quickly, though.
Well,
I think maybe research-wise in her way of research.
but then you have to understand he is the other version or other Harvey. So I think she is attracted to Harvey, but since they have that great working relationship, you know, husband and wife in the office, she can't break that.
Right.
But here comes another Harvey that she doesn't have any ties to, so she's probably thinking, why not?
I think that having British Harvey around with
I want to see British
Donna,
Mike.
or
You want to see who?
British Mike instead.
Yeah, I'm not calling him British
having
Harvey.
Steven, I'll use his real name, having Steven around, I think that is going to maybe spark something within Harvey and Donna that maybe they don't realize is there. Maybe Harvey gets a little bit jealous
I like that. I
of
like that.
the tension that's being shed
I
onto
just don't
Donna.
want her to break.
And, you know, that forces them to have a talk
And
about
maybe
the
even a
status.
sex scene.
Maybe.
Which one?
Maybe.
Harvey, not the British Harvey, but the real Harvey.
New York Harvey.
The Big Apple.
Yeah, and then I liked to I want to talk about Mike and Rachel a little bit. I think that there wasn't a lot of their relationship, but I liked how they kind of united over this whole like we got to get back at Katrina thing, and Rachel has her conversation with Donna and kind of sticks up for. I mean, you know, they play nice and kiss and make up and everything based on their last conversation, and without even realizing that she's bringing Mike into the conversation, you know, Donna does say like, no, I forgive him, like I did help Harvey come to realize that he does need Mike. So
I like that there's a lot of standing up for one another in this episode.
Yeah, I agree with that.
really think it united all of them. You know, Donna standing up to Katrina, Harvey standing up to Katrina.
And what's Katrina's deal? Like, what's her...
Well, they
Her.
brought her on kind of like on a deal to work, but then they have been like throwing her to the side, so she's pissed off.
Oh, so she wanted
Yeah.
to show that I'm a badass, and it kind of backfired?
basically, because remember it was last season when she was doing the case and it was her and Mike, and she
Mike's-
kind of Mike screwed up, and like he usually does. Too often those words come out of our mouths. He screws up, and so she kind of catches him and is like, hey, look, I won't rat you out and get you fired and disbarred, even though he doesn't have a law degree or anything. I won't do all this to you if, you know, I can be brought in. So Harvey makes a deal with her, gets her in at Pearson Hardman. At the time, that's what it was called. And she's been there ever since. But the way she got in was dirty. So it's like, who wants to work with someone who would use that as their way in, as their ticket in?
Right.
I completely see why people are staying away and like, no. No one else sees that?
She should have stayed at the DA's office.
Yeah. And she tries to use that
But she's still playing dirty.
because no one's giving her any time.
So you're
Yeah.
going to play dirty. No one's giving you time, so you're going to play dirty thinking people are going to...
Hey, we got British lady bribing people when she's already like been charged of bribing. You know, I'm not saying that it makes sense
No,
to
but I'm
people's
just like,
thoughts.
logically, it's like,
yeah,
come
logically,
on.
it's
Yeah.
like learn your lessons.
Yes.
But before we really get into what Katrina was saying, I just want to take a moment to say, if you guys have a moment, please go online and download Adventures of Serial Buddies. If you like Dexter and Dumb and Dumber, it's like the two of them meshed together into a hilarious movie that was produced by Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, and help support AfterBuzz by downloading this film. And also, while you're online, go to iTunes, like our podcast, leave a comment, rate us 5 stars. Let us know what you like and what you don't like and what we can do better to help you enjoy this experience much better. Thanks.
Yay.
That was my cute wink. So Katrina's back, which I'm excited about because as much as I hate her, I actually love her. I think that she's a conniving little B word, but I think that she brings a little something else to the table. You know, she challenges Mike in his seat next to Harvey. She challenges Harvey because she has this secret that she's, you know, Harvey always is the one with the leverage over people. Like, oh, I know this information, so you're going to do what I say. And someone under him kind of has that control. He takes it away from her completely by the end of the episode, but
Loved it.
yeah. But before that, you know, she kind of thinks she has some room to play with. But now she's sucking up to Lewis.
That is, oh, bad.
You know you are desperate when you're sucking up to Lewis, right?
She had to after Harvey.
Well,
And the step forward that he took to get in her face to say what he needed to say. Loved it.
loved it.
I think Mike is going to ruin this whole thing because he basically confirmed to her that him and Rachel are dating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to protect Rachel. Well, who said Rachel?
Yeah.
Right. She did catch him in that.
Yeah. When she said that, though, I was like, well, I mean, who else would you be talking
and
about
then I
in the
thought about
office?
that too. Like, come on.
I'm
Like, the whole office knows.
Right.
It's not a secret.
I'm like, watch, you know, something goes out now about Rachel and Mike having an office romance.
Yeah, and when she left that conversation, that smirk she had on her face, I was like, she recorded that. It's like, you conniving little B word. You totally recorded that. And then she sends out that email blast of Mike as a baby being like birthed, and he was saying, you know, like, Harvey's my boy and don't mess with him. I can't remember exactly
Who
what.
does that?
It's like, come on, this is office
This is
pranks.
corporate.
This is
Right, like, who-
this is the corporate world. You're lawyers at that. Shouldn't there be some like decorum here? No.
It's even worse.
Oh god.
Office politics? Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it's like I expect that at my office. You know, it's like we're all just like joking around. Cool. Lawyers, like, you know the law. You know what's right and what's wrong. I need you to take your life seriously because of my life might be in your hands.
Right. Right.
Which at this point, Ava's life is literally in their hands.
Right.
She's on trial for murder, and this is happening in the office. But
Right. And that's why he told Mike, don't worry about it. I need you to focus on the case.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Harvey stood up for Mike, which I didn't really see coming. I also saw, I think what I thought was going to happen was that Mike was just going to go ahead and
Do it anyway.
do it anyway, and then him and Harvey would have to have like
But he
a whole-
can't do that because Mike, he's
Yeah.
still trying to get into Harvey's good graces, so he can't do anything opposite
then-
of what he says.
And then he tells Harvey, I thought I told you not to do that. And that, was great.
cute. And that's when you knew that Butch and Cassidy were back.
Yes.
Right.
And really towards the end that they were back.
Their heart to heart at the end
Yes.
was so cute.
They'll start going to dinner now.
Yeah, they'll start going
lunch,
to dinner
and
and
mud
lunches.
baths.
And it's like at this point, everyone kind of had a happy ending. Katrina got to work with Lewis. Lewis comes in and dumps the stuff on her. Ava gets off on the, or at least we think that she's going to be getting off because of the way they decided to defend this. Harvey and Mike are back at it. Harvey finally tells Mike, hey, now we're official because I made a deal with Darby to take the company back from Jessica. It's like everything is so positive right now that I'm scared of when things start crumbling. And Jessica still has no idea what's going on.
I think she's playing Harvey. I think she has a deal with Darby.
That's my prediction.
Oh, and that's why I can't trust Darby. Well, let's not get into predictions yet.
I'm sorry.
Let's not jump the gun.
I don't want it to. I don't want to forget about it.
I know, right?
Write it down.
Me?
We're going to talk about some news and gossip first real quick. Nope. All right.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I have a bit of news. It's a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know, cover your ears.
Spoiler alert.
I was reading
Spoiler
today,
alert.
and there's a mention that we might be seeing Mike, Rachel, and her parents all together. So I take this as a sign. They DTR'd their relationship tonight. And so I see this as a sign of them kind of taking the next step and really getting serious. But we know that Mike and Rachel's dad have a history already. And so I don't think
sorry,
they really
I have
like
a
each
silly
other.
question. What is DTR?
Oh, define the relationship.
Oh, okay. Did
Sorry.
You know that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I watched that MTV show Awkward. Everything is spoken in letters.
It doesn't mean sex, does it?
I'm like, what is DTR?
They defined their relationship, which means that they established that they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. For anyone else who didn't know, I'm a 12-year-old girl sometimes, and I watch MTV shows, and so that just happened. So moving on, let's get into our predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, I know you guys both had predictions over there, so
Yes,
I don't
I
want you to
know.
forget, so go ahead and tell us.
My prediction is that Katrina is gonna put a bug in Rachel's office to hear the conversation between Mike and Rachel and use it against them.
Oh.
With the help of our wonderful Lewis, since he has prior experience in that.
And he has his little tape recorder, his fancy one.
Yeah.
He's always talking into.
My prediction is. What was my prediction? Jessica
Jessica?
knows
Oh.
about the takeover.
And that she has a deal with Darby, too.
I don't know if she has a deal with Darby too, but I think she knows about the takeover.
Okay.
You think she has a deal with Darby too?
I don't trust
Darby's
Darby.
playing both sides.
I feel like that's something that Darby would do, is to, play both sides and see which one comes up on top and which one benefits him more in the long run. But sending his guy in to help Harvey kind of makes me think that maybe he's betting his money on Harvey.
I'm going to piggyback on what you said and go a little bit further and say that she knows, and I think she tipped off Cameron, which is why he settled for the bribery and came back for the conspiracy. Because she knows about the takeover. I think she probably tipped
That's a good prediction.
made
That's a real
Harvey
good one.
settle for the bribery, but she had something else planned.
Well, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
That's a real good one. I like that.
I want to just say ditto to all that's happening over there.
That's like she's a writer in the writing room type stuff on that one.
I mean, my prediction was squat to that, so I'm not even going to say my prediction. We're going to end it right there. Let us know what your predictions are, and where can they find you on social media sites?
You can find me on Twitter at Ashida Onrae, ASHIDAONRAE.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RealEmmaK.
And I'm on Twitter at TweetT22 and on Instagram at Tiona Hobson. Happy birthday, Ashida, one last time. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only. Do not
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.